Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing something a little bit different. I've done something sort of like this one other time, but today we're doing a book haul, which I thought was kind of a cool, different idea. Also, I apologize if you hear like a tiny bit of hold music in the background. I got this on like super low, but it says I'm gonna be on hold for like an hour and a half, and I cannot wait an hour and a half to film this video. So I have it on like super low, so I apologize if you can hear it, but it's just like a little bit of music in the background. So I figured it wouldn't bother anybody, but if you hear anything, that's what it is. Y'all, I have like 20 something books to show you guys. I don't know when this video is going up, but in real time, we're in quarantine still, and I have been like a bookworm, reading like crazy, and I've honestly just fallen back in love with reading. I mean, I've always loved reading, like literally since I was a little girl. I used to sleep with books. That's how much I loved books. And I always read, like I'm always reading. I always have a book that I'm reading, but I've really like fallen in love with just curling up with a book, whether it's outside or it's on the couch, and just enjoying getting like sucked into a book. Especially the types of books I've been reading, I have just been getting sucked into their world, and I can't leave it, and I don't even want to. So as I've been reading more, I've also been like talking to a ton of people and posting on like social media and stuff about what I'm reading, and I've compiled a massive list on Goodreads of books I want to read, and I just love knowing that once I finish a book, I have so many good ones. That is what I'm going to be sharing with you guys today. I hope that you enjoy, and if you would like to see all the books, then just keep watching. I don't know about y'all, but books are just one of those things that I just love buying. Like, I mean, I like having them and I like reading them and all that, of course, but I just love the experience of picking out books and I don't know, all the things. I just love purchasing books and having books. It's one of those weird things. If y'all are like that, please let me know. I can't be alone on this. I just love the experience of shopping for books. I don't know. So one thing I will mention before we get too far into this is I don't really like to read the full synopsis of a book. Like, I don't like to read the entire back or, you know, inside cover or whatever. I don't really want to know what happens. Literally, even on like the books, as I start reading them, I don't read what they're about. I either know what people have told me about them. For example, I'm going to show you a couple book of the month books on here because I recently subscribed to book of the month. This is not sponsored or anything. I just signed up for it, and they give you like a 1-sentence summary about what the book is about, and that's like all that I want to know. I don't like spoilers, and I feel like sometimes the back of the book gives you spoilers. I don't want that. So in this video, I'm going to show you guys the books. If I know anything about them, I will tell you, but I'm not going to like read off the back of the book because I don't want to ruin it for myself or you if you're like that too. But if you are interested, I will have every single book I mentioned linked down below, so if you want some more information about them, they will all be there, and you can totally read the synopsis on your own. So y'all, I have this massive, let me show you this box. There are like 15 books in here, and then I have this huge stack in front of me. You guys don't even understand. So let's get started. So this first one is by Mary Beth Mayhew Whalen. I just really like that's also a thing I'm a sucker for. Like, don't judge a book by its cover. I totally judge a book by its cover, and if it has like a really pretty cover, I just love that. I know this is kind of like a little bit of a mystery. I don't think this is like necessarily like a murder mystery, but I think this is kind of along those lines of like a suspenseful novel. So I'm super excited about this. Keep in mind also, I buy most of my books used for the most part. I'm really excited about this one. First of all, I love the cover of this one. I just feel like it's so beautiful, and it like really makes you wonder what the story is going to be about. And this is When I'm Gone by Emily Bleeker, best-selling author of Wreckage, which I have not read Wreckage, but like just the little line back here says, even the happiest marriages have their secrets. And I think that's kind of interesting. I am obviously married, so I think books about marriage are kind of interesting to me too. And there's like clearly something about like a little girl or a little boy on here too. I think it's a girl. Yeah, so this looks super interesting. I also love books that are massive. This has like 350 pages, something like that. So I really love like a nice thick book that like can really get you into the story. Also, if y'all have read any of these books that I mentioned, don't give anything away, but let me know what you have thought of them. I would love to know. I'm so late on this, but I got The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. I don't even know how to say the author's name here, honestly. I know this is like such an old book, kind of like Gone Girl. I feel like I'm kind of late on this. I mean, literally the words back here say a sexy, addictive thriller. I'm so here for a sexy, addictive thriller. I don't know how I haven't read this before. I've really recently, like, I've always loved like the Gillian Flynn and like the Laura Lippman. Like, I love that genre of book, but I've really recently just started like getting into it and like figuring out what the top books in that genre are, who the best authors are. And so this of course came up in my research, so I thought I would grab it. This, again, this book is massive. This is like 650 pages in here, something like that. So again, love me like a big fat book. I love like little books, especially this size, that you can just like throw in your purse and carry with you. Next, okay, so this is an author. I have yet to read any of her books, but I have one in my cart on book of the month right now, and then I purchased this one. I think I have two from her in this pile, and this is In a Dark, Dark Wood by Ruth Ware. I know she has like The Lion Game. She wrote so many good books, and I've heard nothing but amazing things about her, so I'm super excited. I know this is one of the really good ones. And how cool is this cover? Oh, and The Woman in Cabin 10. That's the other one of hers that I think is really, really popular. This also says it was an instant New York Times bestseller. I'm so excited to read one of her books and see how I like her. These next two books are by like one of my favorite authors. I have quite a few favorite authors. Jodi Picoult is like really way up there, and Gillian Flynn, of course, but Laura Lippman has become one of my favorites. I've read like 4 of her books at this point, I think, and I love her. And she, like, I wish Gillian Flynn, why does she only have like 3 or 4 books? Like, she should literally be writing a book every 6 months. She'd be like the richest person alive. But Laura Lippman's kind of up there for me. Every time I'm ordering books, I just grab a couple of hers to add to my collection because I know that I will love them all. She's amazing. So this one is What the Dead Know. Kind of self-explanatory, you know I'm gonna love it. This book is really cool too because it kind of has like, you know those books that have like a soft, like they're paperbacks but they're kind of sturdy, they have this little flap. It has like those pages that are all, there you go, you can see they're all like kind of uneven, so it almost looks like someone just like cut them, or it was kind of like a notebook or something. I love the look and the texture of that. I just feel like it just like changes the whole vibe of the book. So I'm really excited about this one. So this one is called I'd Know You Anywhere, and again, I think this cover is so cool, kind of like holographic-y looking. It says the best suspense novel of the year. Stephen King said that. Stephen King's kind of like the man, right? So the best suspense novel of the year. Wow, that's crazy. It says it's a terrifying story about a death row inmate obsessed with the only victim he left alive. That sounds so crazy. This looks so good. I can't wait to read these, y'all. All right, next up, a couple of these, it's funny, a couple of these were definitely like library books. Like this says no longer the property of any Think Library, and they have like the little barcodes on the end. I thought that was kind of funny because they're all laminated like library books, but this is called This Is How It Ends by Eva Dolan. I feel like even just the cover like kind of says a lot about the book, like the crusty room, and I don't know, it looks just like very ominous. So I'm super excited about this. This is a hardcover, which I honestly feel like most people prefer hardcovers, but I kind of like paperbacks more just because I feel like sometimes they're like easier to hold, and I carry my books with me a lot, like to and from work and in my purse and stuff like that. So sometimes I feel like paperbacks are a little easier, but of course they get damaged easier. Just the top of this says 300 gone, just 6 left. So again, I'm not gonna read it because I don't want to know, but that's just kind of a sneak peek to this one, and I really just like the aesthetic of this cover. I like it a lot. Another previous library book. It kind of makes you wonder, like, how many homes was this in? How many people touched this? This says it was from the King County Library System. This is called Good as Gone, a novel of suspense by Amy Gentry. Just a little synopsis says, after 8 long years, an abducted daughter suddenly reappears harboring deep secrets. So like not all these books are necessarily like a murder like mystery per se, but they all have just like basically a level of suspense to them, or there's like a plot twist or like a big surprise at the end of the story or something like that. And I just kind of love a story that like keeps you on your toes, kind of like when an episode just like leaves you wondering what happens the next episode and you can't wait to watch the next episode. I like for like each page and each chapter to leave me wondering what is gonna happen, so I can't put it down. And I like the like vibe of this book, like the yellow and pink and then the pink and yellow. I think it's just really pretty. So, and again, I love trying new authors because like when I tried my first Laura Lippman book, I fell in love with her as soon as I read the book. So I'm always interested to try new authors and see if I'm gonna like find another author that I fall in love with. Next up, this one got like really jacked up in the mailbox. The mailman like shoved it in there and I'm super frustrated because the cover is like really jacked up. I mean, it's used, so it's probably jacked up anyway. But this is A Woman with a Secret by Sophie Hannah. This also says that she's a best-selling New York Times best-selling author too. Again, I think this cover, it looks like it has rain on it or something. I think this looks really interesting. She's a wife, she's a mother, she isn't who you think she is. That's like what the back of the book says. I think that's kind of an interesting little teaser. So I have heard a lot about Harlan Coben. I know he's like a boss in this kind of field, and I actually have a book of his in my like bookshelf that I've had since literally the beginning of high school, and I like read part of it off and on like forever, but I never ended up finishing it. So I figured now is the time to give him kind of a fair chance. So I heard The Woods by Harlan Coben was one of his really good ones. And it says, on his deathbed, my father takes my hand. Paul, my father, says to me, we still need to find her. That's a little teaser right there. Also, this book is so cool because it's a hardcover, but it doesn't have like a dust cover on it. It's just like this design, obviously like The Woods, is kind of just like printed onto the, you know, cardboard or whatever. So I thought that was kind of different and interesting. I feel like I've literally never seen a book that is a hardcover but has like the design on it rather than a dust cover. I thought that was kind of cool. So I'm excited because if I get hooked on him, I know he also has like 100,000 books that he's written. So I love finding an author that I love that has a ton of books so that I never have to worry about like running out of options. Oh, we got another Laura Lippman one, and this one actually literally feels and looks brand new. So this is, she's a New York Times bestselling author, as she should be. This is After I'm Gone. I think this is is really cool with like the lime green. And then it just says dead is dead, missing is gone. That's the teaser. I don't know what that means. But again, freaking love Laura Lippman. 1970s this is based, and 80s. Like I said, I don't read what the book's about, so I don't find out till I start reading. So like I mentioned, I did get another Ruth Ware book, and this is Death of Mrs. Westaway. This one just came up a lot when I was searching, so I thought I would grab this one. And this is a hardcover. I think, again, the whole vibe of the cover just looks really interesting. This says this is her 4th novel. So this came after In a Dark, Dark Wood, The Woman in Cabin 10, and The Lion Game. Those 3 are really popular and seem to be extremely good, so if this is anything like those, I'm super excited to read that one. And of course, you can tell this is like about a murder or a death. I'm really excited about Ruth Ware. I feel like I'm gonna like her. We're getting close to the end, I promise. So again, we have another previous library book that's all like laminated, which is so funny. This is called Our House by Lewis Candlish. It says, like, some of the reviews back here say it's addictive, twisty, and oh so terrifyingly possible. This book was impossible to put down and I loved it. Believable, brilliant, and beautifully written. I'm super excited. And again, this one's like a really, how many pages does this have? This has almost 400 pages. Oh, and this is, you know what's weird? I feel like 99% of the books I've read recently are all based in like London or just like UK somewhere, and I just like peeked in here and it looks like it's based in London too, which is funny. And then the last of the used books is this one called If Only I Could Tell You by Hannah Beckerman. And this is an emotionally engaging, clever, and wonderfully satisfying novel, utterly compelling and completely heartbreaking. I loved it even though it made me cry. I don't think this one's a thriller. I feel like you can tell by the look of it. I saw some really good reviews about this. It says, a secret between 2 sisters, a lifetime of lies unraveling. Can one broken family find their way back to each other? And I do like to kind of like mix it up and not necessarily only read death, grief, and sorrow. I like to read other things too, so I thought I would throw that in here. So those are all the used books. You guys need to see this. Holy cow. Let me see if I can pick this pile up. Oh, I don't want to drop these. These are all the books that I just showed you guys, and I still have a couple more. And then I did want to talk about a couple of Book of the Month books that I got. Like I said, this is not sponsored. I pay for this all myself, but I do have a link where you can get a brand new book. You can try out one of these books, any of the Book of the Month books that they have available, for like a really, really discounted price. And I don't want to say what the discount is because it fluctuates between like $5 and $9. So either way, these are like full price, like $25 to $30 books, and you can get them for either $5 or $9. So it's a really, really, really good deal. It's an amazing subscription service. I'm not really crazy about subscriptions, but this one's actually a good deal where you actually like save money. They have like books that haven't even been released yet. Like they're literally not even out to the public yet, but you can get them through Book of the Month. It's amazing. So check out my link in the description box if you guys want to check it out. So actually the first one that I ever received, they actually come in like these really, really cute boxes that, I mean, I feel like just getting this in the mail, you're gonna get so excited. And actually each book comes with a bookmark also. The first one I picked out is by Lucy Foley. I think this was a early release. Like I don't think this is out yet, or at least it wasn't when I got it, but it's called The Guest List. What I really like about Book of the Month books is that they are like branded specifically to Book of the Month, so they are labeled there. They're actually labeled on the like actual hardcover too, and they say what month it is. So this is from April 2020, and they don't like give away too much on the back. It just says an exclusive wedding on a remote Irish island. The bride, the +1, the best man, the wedding planner, the bridesmaid. All have a secret, all have a motive, but only one is a murderer. So again, like I love that Book of the Month just gives you like a little bit of a teaser. It doesn't give much away. I think it's just really like the perfect amount of information. And these are such nice books. Like they're just good quality. The covers are just like really nice. And so many of my friends actually signed up for Book of the Month when I did because I was like raving about it. And they all got this book and said it was really good. So I'm very excited. Then my second shipment of Book of the Month, I got quite a few. So I got this big box. The actual Book of the Month for May of 2020 is this one. It's called A Good Marriage. And look, this doesn't even have anything on the back cover. I just love that. This is such, I don't know, it's such a nice book. This one has almost 400 pages too. So it's a nice big guy. And during my research on like thrillers and mystery novels, I stumbled upon this Riley Sager a lot, but they seem to have a lot of books in this genre that are really like highly regarded. So this is called Lock Every Door. I think this is about a girl who's like an RA or something in like a dorm room or some kind of like residence hall, but people like keep going missing, and I think the other like RAs have died before or something like that. So I just love the vibe of this book too. I love the like black and purple and pink. This one got really, really good reviews. Super excited to read from this author. I need to change the battery. I just had to change the battery really quick, so I apologize if the scenery has changed. So this is kind of funny. The final book that I chose was called The Chestnut Man. I was so excited about this for so many reasons. A, as you can probably tell from the name here, this is a Danish author. And if y'all don't know, my husband is from Denmark. He was born in Denmark. He's Danish. And it's honestly rare to like meet Danish people or like find things that are Danish. Like there's just not a lot in the world. The fact that there was a Danish author and it was like a thriller, like mystery novel, I was like, that couldn't be more perfect. Plus, look at the size of this book. This is over 500 pages. I don't know, I just thought it was so cool, and the fact that it's such a big book and it's set in Denmark by a Danish guy and it's like a thriller, I thought that was really cool. However, I got this book in, obviously this is the way the dust cover came, and like I showed you before, if you take the dust cover off, there's also the book of the month like branding on the actual cover. So you know that this dust cover is on correctly, but then wait, watch when you open the book. So not only is it upside down, but it's like backwards. So this whole entire book is printed and bound upside down and backwards, which totally doesn't like you being able to read it at all. You could totally still read it, you just have to hold it this way. I don't know, I just thought that was kind of weird. So they sent me another one. So I do have one that you can read normal. I just feel like that would throw me off having that on there backwards. This book though, I'm super excited about. I love how big it is. I'm really excited just about the story. I'm excited to just get a whole vibe for the like Danish style thriller. All right, y'all, so we just talked about 19 books. I didn't even realize I had gotten that many. So clearly I am going to be set for a long, long time. I'm such a bookworm and I could like read all day, every day and never get tired of it, I swear. So like I said, all of these books will be linked down below if you guys are interested, if any of these pique your interest or if you've been thinking about them. The links will be down there if you want to read some of the descriptions or get some more information. That will all be there for you. Let me know y'all's favorite either author or just book, kind of in like the thriller, mystery, suspense kind of category. Like I'm always on the lookout for like my next favorite book or favorite author. So I would love to hear some recommendations from you guys, so please share. Definitely check out the book of the month link if you guys are interested. I'm telling you, like if you're a bookworm, you're gonna be hooked. Yeah, as I mentioned, I was just on hold with Walmart for like an hour and a half and I had like 15 minutes of waiting left to go and I just accidentally hung up. Which I don't even know how I accidentally hung up because I pushed the volume button. Does that hang up? Is that like a shortcut I didn't know about? So anyway, I'm gonna go back to being on hold for another hour and a half. It's fine. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. If you would like to subscribe, we would love to have you. We have so much fun here, and until next time, I will see y'all in our next video. Bye guys.